Chapter 5 Shri Gurudev Datta Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Datta Guru incarnates as Shripada Shri Vallabha in order to protect the devotees, the righteous ones, and to annihilate the wicked ones. Lord Shri Hari assumed 10 incarnations by names Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana, Parshurama, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki, and still a few more incarnations to establish religion. Due to the influence of Kali, the path of righteousness suffered from impediments and embarrassment. There was proliferation of irreligiousness under the rule of alien kings. When the helpless devotees prayed for Sri Hari's intervention and protection, the pleased Sri Hari assumed incarnation by name Shri Pada. Incidentally, the first incarnation of Shri Guru Dattatreya in Pithapur of district Godavari in Andhra Pradesh. In those days, there was a learned superior Brahman known as Apal Raj in the village of Pithapur. He had an ideal, God-fearing, virtuous wife by name Sumati, who was resembling the great wife Anusaya. Both were great devotees of Shri Guru Dattatreya. The devoted couple was blessed with 2 sons. However, the elder son happened to be a blind, while the younger one lame. After the birth of those 2 handicapped children, they had several issues, but none of them could survive. Sumati was engaged in the service of her husband as per the dictum of chastity. She also used to treat the guests and others who used to visit their place nicely. As such, she was well known as a model housewife everywhere. She used to incessantly meditate upon Shri Guru Dattatreya. Remembrance of the name of Dattatreya was her only life force. In essence, she considered the service of guests and others itself as service of the Lord. On the pretext of testing her, once Shri Guru Dattatreya, in the guise of an ascetic guest, arrived at her place on the day of Amavasya, the day on which the moon is not invisible, new moon day, in the noon, and begged for alms. On that day, preparations for yearly death anniversary rituals of elders were going on in the house. The death anniversary rituals had not yet begun at that time. Sumati had a strong feeling that the strange alms seeking guest who had arrived on that day at noon was none other than Shri Datta Guru in reality. As laid down in the religious scriptures, it is mandatory that only after completing the death anniversary rituals, food should be served to Brahmins who are in place of ancestors and then served to the guests and others. However, the wise woman Sumati did not bother to observe the religious regulations and served the food in alms by uttering Shri Guru Dattatreya Arpanamastu. Pleased by her devotion and feelings, the guest appeared in his real form, that of Dattatreya, and instructed her to seek the boon she desired. Sumati eulogized Shri Guru Dattatreya by several ways. She prayed before him thus: O the Supreme God, the sons born to us so far died immediately after their birth. In addition of the sons born, 2 who survived are handicapped, attributeless, and have earned short lifespan. As such, we do not have any hopes on them. We now aspire to have a son who is knowledgeable, healthy, well cultured, and worthy. Further, she prayed that she should be blessed with a son who should be like the great godly soul Shri Guru Dattatreya, the most revered by the world. After listening to her compassionate prayer, the Lord Shri Datta Guru was kindly disposed towards her, with a view to bringing in action his volition of initiating his devotees. The great ascetic said, Hey mother, shun your worries. You shall give birth to a great worthy son who will be like me in every respect. In the days to come, he shall possess the worldly fame by name Shripad Shri Vallabha, the most renowned. He shall be instrumental for deliverance of your clan and attain fame. However, a word of caution to you that you must never go against his wishes. Never show disrespect to his feelings. He alone shall be your redeemer. Thus blessing her, he disappeared. Sumati, who was blessed by Shri Guruji, had mixed feelings that of happiness and surprise at the same time. She narrated the whole episode to her husband. Both husband and wife rejoiced the happy occasion. Apal Raj was jubilant for the fact that his clan stood elevated. Addressing his dear wife, he said, "O Devi, you are really well fated one. Since you happen to be most sacred, you had the fortune of having the vision of Lord Shri Dattatreya. Today the doors to happy and contented future life have been opened for us. Undoubtedly, the one who has taken food in arms is none other than Lord Shri Dattatreya. As you have qualified yourself for Guru's grace, certainly we shall have a son like him. I have followed the most appropriate course of action by serving the food to the guest without waiting for my formal instructions. After some time, on the auspicious moment, Sumati conceived a child, and when she completed 9 months period, on the lucky day, that is Shri Ganesh Chaturthi, 4th day of fortnight of the month of Bhadrapada, in the morning time, she was blessed with a son who was the highest amongst the gods. The astrologer predicted that the son born of them was a great ascetic guru and benefactor of the whole universe, who was the incarnation of Sadguru Sri Dattatreya. As he was born as a result of the blessings of Sri Dattatreya, he was named Shri Pad, which is one of the several names of Sri Dattatreya. Right from the childhood itself, the boy Shri Pad was exhibiting variegated plays. He used to recite the holy syllabi Om, which is instrumental for the creation of this universe. When the child attained the age of 8 years, the parents performed the thread ceremony of the child in a grand manner. Before commencing the studies of Vedas, the young boy, who did not have even an iota of knowledge of Vedas and scriptures, started reciting very rhythmically the beginning couplets in a raised and clear tone. Gradually, he attained extraordinary scholarship in Vedas and scriptures. To take the benefit of his treasure of knowledge and scholarship, people from all sections and ages started flocking to him, and also to get clarifications about doubts they had in the matter of scriptures and religion. When he attained the age of 16 years, an appropriate age for marriage, Shripad was thinking of entering the life of religious mendicant, the mission for which he had incarnated. One day his parents broached the subject of marriage before him. To that Shripad replied thus: "Revered parents, I am not born for leading a family life. The time is ripe for me to accept the ascetic order of life. I am under no compulsion to lead a worldly life. There is an urgent need for me to accomplish the mission of my birth. I am disinterested in getting married. I am not going to get married with a worldly bride. I have already selected a beautiful and virtuous bride by name Yogashri. Nothing other than dispassion is my life companion. If I were to get married, it would be only with her. All women are like my mothers. You shall never compel me to get married. My name is Shri Vallabha." The parents were very much upset with the thoughts expressed by their son. They begged before him thus: "Dear son, before your birth we encountered tremendous torture, problems, misery and sufferings in our life. After your birth, forgetting all those bad days of ours, we were leading a happy and contented life. Now we cannot live even for a moment without your company. To a son, there is no greater God than his own parents. Service to parents is deemed as service to God. That is the supreme religion which a worthy son shall pursue. It shall not be appropriate for a son to abandon the parents at their old age and when they are possessed with earlier born handicapped and helpless children." To console his mother, Shripad Guruji once glanced at her through his ambrosia red eyes and pacified her with his sweet words. He also glanced at his two handicapped brothers born to his parents earlier through ambrosia red eyes, which were rich in love and affection. Within no time, the lame brother possessed legs, the blind brother regained the eyesight, and thus both became fit to lead a normal life. Their physical disability disappeared at once. Besides, they looked to be quite healthy in their natural state. Shripad Raj blessed them for their well being in the days to come. Miraculous transformation took place in them. Shripad Raj once again bowed down before the feet of his parents and spoke to his mother thus: Dear mother, do not grieve any more. Live happily with these two sons of yours who have 100 years of longevity. They would take care of you at your old age in an exemplary manner. From today onwards, your bad days have gone. To fulfill my destined obligation, I must now undertake the mission of wandering about the nation. To initiate the devotees who are on the path of enlightenment, I have to travel towards a northern direction. Hence, you must accord your consent to my thought and bid farewell happily now. You shall live without my any worries, botheration. You shall have my vision again in the future. Thus assuring his parents, he circumambulated and prostrated thrice and sought their permission for the journey. In that moment of departure, he exhibited his real form to his mother. Finally, the mother got consoled. Shripad sought mother's consent and got ready for his departure. The parents were of the opinion that they must follow the dictum of their son who had incarnated for the betterment of the world. Finally, they were in total agreement with his thought and consented for his journey. Just at the age of 30, Shripad Guruji left for pilgrimage. He visited holy places like Kashi, Badri, and stayed there for some time. During the course of pilgrimage, he initiated several meritorious ones on the path of enlightenment. Thereafter, by the speed of thought, he arrived at the holy place Gokarna. There he observed penance for 3 years. From there, he proceeded towards Kuruvapura Kshetra. Here ends the 5th chapter in the most auspicious Shri Gurucharitra. Shri Gurudev Dutt. Shri Gurudattatreya Arpanamastu.